Hey, Facebook, what's happening? It's Monday. I'm working. I don't typically work that many Mondays anymore, but I'm working this Monday because, boy oh boy, this episode has 55 scenes and I'm pretty sure I'm in 53 of them. It's one of those. It's like an old school episode, like a season 1 style episode, like this is going to make me super tired episode. I thought I'd pop by, answer a few questions, just say hey, chat Arrow, chat what's going on in the world. Also, I need your help with something. So let's start off first. I just posted something on the page. It's not a political commentary. It's simply a commentary that I think what Cal Penn is doing is actually really great. I'm not going to apologize for thinking that it's great. Breaking news. I am a human being. I have opinions. If you don't like it, I will not be offended if you just want to go away. Or disagree. Or whatever. I literally don't care. So, there's that. Yesterday, I want to thank the NHL and Entertainment Weekly for hosting my wife and my daughter and I at the All-Star Game yesterday. It was a lot of fun. Robbie and I did a trivia game with Eric Lindros, Luc Robitaille, Valerie Bure, and Candace Cameron Bure, who of course I watched Full House growing up, let's be honest. So it was really cool to meet her, and I definitely have a photo of myself when I was 8 with Eric Lindros, who's just a massive, massive individual. But anyway, EW agreed to donate $20,000 to charity for my appearance, and I would like you guys to pick the charity, please. Just give me suggestions, pop them on the page, pop them in the visitor posts. I'll collect them, I'll put them all into one post, and people can vote. Sounds good? Good. Great. Sorry about my hair, but what are you going to do? Okay, let's answer a few questions. Ashley Menzel wants to thank Chris Pronger for smashing Justin Bieber into the wall. I heard he got run. Oh, Robbie was saying that if he had played in the celebrity game, he would have taken a run at him. Marta saying, is there a video of the trivia from yesterday? There is actually. I'll pop a link on the Facebook page. We didn't win. We were robbed. But again, everyone got to donate some money to charity, so who cares? Sean Fox says, did I keep the Casey Jones mask? Also, St. Jude is a good charity. That's very, very true. I didn't. I'm not allowed to keep that. I have some Arrow paraphernalia because, I stole it. But I've admitted that I did. So maybe I'm just borrowing it. They can't have it back, but I did not take any Casey Jones stuff. Hey, fake wig guy, says Manny. Thanks, buddy. Danny Mumklovic says, do you ever visit Chicago? I'm going to be in Chicago in March 24th, 25th, whatever that weekend is. We're doing a big fan fest. It's a combination of a Walker Stalker Con and a Heroes and Villains Con. There's going to be a lot of awesome people there, and I will be there then. We're going to throw a Knocking Point party. Really, really fun. Little hello from Argentina. Tiffany Lee suggested the American Cancer Society. We do raise a lot of money for cancer research through Fuck Cancer, part of my language. So I think that we'll stay away from cancer-based charities this time and maybe lean towards something else. What actor or actress would you like to see in the next season of Arrow? I don't know. We got some good people this year, though. Doing a lot of work with Josh Segarra right now. He is playing D.A. Adrian Chase, and I'm very much enjoying working with him. Jordan Thunder says, are you going to WrestleMania 33? I hope so. I do. I would like to. It is in Orlando, and that is by far the hardest place to get to in the continental United States of America from Vancouver. There's no direct flights, and it literally you can't get any further away. When we did our charity event to benefit One Orlando, which supported victims and survivors and families associated with the Pulse nightclub shooting, I had to fly. David Ramsey and I had to fly overnight in a private plane just to get to Orlando, and we barely made it. Kelly Smith says, have you ever thought about returning to Arizona for Phoenix Comic-Con? I would love to. I was there in 2014. I had a really tremendous time. My God, it was hot. And everyone was like, oh, it's a dry heat. No, it's just heat. It's just so goddamn hot. But then the past couple of years, this past year filming Turtles, or 2 years ago filming Turtles, and last year promoting Turtles, I haven't been able to. And this year we'll be filming Code 8. So if it works on my schedule, I would love to come back. There's a couple spots that I haven't been for a while. Colorado, Arizona. I would love to go to Seattle every year, but they don't invite me. I'm sure that I'm missing a couple. Oh, I didn't get a chance to go back to Dallas this year, but yeah. I like all the cities that I go to. Is Knocking Point Wines ever coming to Canada? Sorry, I missed the name of that person. My apologies. Yes, there will be Knocking Point in Canada. We are trying to cross a few hurdles because the distribution of any type of alcohol is problematic. Well, not problematic. It just has a lot of red tape attached to it. So eventually, yes, I promise. I can say no more. I shouldn't have said that. Oh, this buddy's saying thanks for being an inspiration. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Apparently, Von Seal thinks that I'm handsome, even with the wig. When are you going to come to London? I'm going to come to London in May. I don't know for how long. Before I knew the schedule for Code 8, and I thought maybe it started a little bit later, I was thinking about spending a little bit of extra time in the UK. And now it might be a quicker trip, but I'm definitely going to be there. The information for Heroes and Villains Fan Fest in London is on my page, as is everything, by the way. Claire says, any next Dudes Being Dudes episodes? Yeah, Dudes Being Dudes. Oh, Jenny Poulos says Planet Comic Con in Kansas City. Oh, I loved that Comic Con. That was a blast. Yeah, that was like a couple of years ago around this time. It was during season 3, so 2 years ago around this time. Oh God, what was I gonna say? Oh yes, Dudes Being Dudes. We are, I wouldn't say that we're putting Dudes Being Dudes in Wine Country on hold indefinitely. We're just trying to make sure that we don't spread ourselves too thin. And one of the problems with being busy is you're busy. And I don't know that I could commit to doing a certain number of episodes per year. Because I'm tired as it is. And I just think that while Arrow is on the air and while I'm endeavoring to pursue other roles and opportunities during my hiatus, it's going to be difficult to do Dudes Being Dudes in Wine Country, unfortunately. But it's an evergreen concept. And I think that eventually what'll happen is we'll just produce it ourselves. Leanna Jameson says, do you cut your hair for the films? Well, this is not my real hair right now. This is a wig. It's a flashback wig. It's done masterfully by Paul Edwards, who has been doing the wig as part of the Arrow hair team since we got going in the beginning. It takes him about 30 minutes to do it. I sit and play Clash of Clans, and everyone's happy. See, I love Arrow. I hope they never cancel the show and that you'll always get to be Oliver Queen. Roll Tide Roll. I'm not sure how those two things work together, but maybe that's just something that people from Alabama always say. Roll Tide Roll. Joshua Hazelwood says, have you ever thought about getting into voice acting for animated DC shows, etc., etc.? I think voice work in general is something that I would like to be a part of. It was really interesting when I worked with Will Arnett, who does so much of that stuff. And I'm very excited to see Lego Batman. I think it's going to be tremendous. It is a real toss-up, though, if I'm going to go see Lego Batman, 50 Shades Darker, or John Wick Chapter 2. That's an action-packed weekend, everybody. Peter Wright says, do you ride motorcycles when you're not filming? Mm-mm. Oh, any chance of seeing you on Ride with Norman Reedus? Well, I would love that. I certainly don't ride motorcycles. Maybe being part of the Airstream family indoctrinates me. Probably not. I like what Norman's doing, though. That's very, very cool. Stephen Amell says Brent won't need any makeup for Old Man Oliver because the show's going to go on forever. Is there any chance of seeing, this is from Adam, Nightwing and Arrow? The great link in the character of the Gotham-based characters that have appeared in the series. We'd always want to have Nightwing on the show. I don't think that there's anyone from the DC universe that we wouldn't want to have on the show. It's just about whether or not we are allowed and whether or not it fits in the story. And if it does, we should always do it. Norman wants to know if Felicity's going to get more fight scenes. I think she had a pretty good one in episode 10. If you are invited to CinemaCon at Caesar's Palace in Vegas this year again, please come. Congrats on your win last year. Thank you very much. I'm sorry that I couldn't go. It was a real, it was during our last episode of the year. That's another reason that I might not be able to make it to WrestleMania. Chris Shoemaker says, who's an actor or actress that inspired you? I would have to say that I really, really dig Ed Norton. I think that a lot of the movies that he did when he first broke onto the scene, I mean, they were just incredibly impressive. Primal Fear. To this day, his speech to the Supreme Court in The People versus Larry Flint is, I think, an absolute masterclass and perfect example of being impactful and yet being understated. I think he's incredibly talented. Maybe he'll watch this. Jenny George, is the Suicide Squad coming back to Arrow? A member of the Suicide Squad is coming back to Arrow pretty soon, but I don't know that the actual Suicide Squad is coming back to Arrow. The way you're sitting makes the buttons on your shirt look like sideways angry eyes. It might be time to wrap it up. So let's end where we began. It's a really charged time right now. It's a charged environment. And this is my page, and I am allowed to post what I want. And I have no problem with people disagreeing with that at all. Someone said earlier, I support what you're doing, but you're probably going to take flack. When someone disagrees, that's not flack, that is discourse, and that is healthy, and I encourage it. At the same time, I would like everyone to keep in mind that when I post something and I extol the virtues of something, that doesn't mean that I'm crapping on something else. In fact, quite the opposite. It doesn't really mean anything. Commentary can exist in a vacuum. One of the things that I've really learned from having my buddy Drew as a business partner is, he just says what he means all the time, and it's best to sometimes not read between the lines. Not every abdication is a condemnation on the other side. That I promise you. I'm a pretty easygoing guy. I think that the world is a bit of an interesting place at the moment, and people are very sensitive for good reason. But every once in a while I'll have opinions. I think that's why people like this page, and if you don't, you can unlike it. It happens. Okay, Facebook. I'm going to take a 15-minute nap, and then I'm going to go back to work. And that's it. I'm going to be back tomorrow because we have to do a video. We sort of buried the lead about a grand prize that we have for Knocking Point. Thank you very much, everybody, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.